Alright Derek, I'm an idiot. So that was the first 5 minutes totally wasted, me just waving my hands about. Yeah, well, we might just have to edit that when I put it out. But hopefully you can hear me loud and clear now. And that's not an issue anymore. If I'm too loud, let me know and I'll turn it down a bit. They've just done an upgrade on Steam Labs. And I've got all these transitions we can do now. There's a studio mode. If you haven't looked at it, Derek, have a look at it. This new studio mode looks quite interesting. So basically, what I was saying to myself, because none of you could hear me, or you couldn't hear me, Derek, there's now somebody else with us. I want to do a series of videos on modding the Ender 3, because I think it's going to be a very, very popular machine. It's already proving itself very popular, and I think it's only going to get more popular, and I think there's going to be an awful lot of mods out there because it shares a lot of its build designs with the CR10. There's already a lot of mods out there which will transfer straight over to it, and I think there'll be a lot more mods coming out for it in the future. And what I thought I would do with a new series of videos is to test out those mods. Now, I could just use the Ender 3 I've got and put these mods on and go, oh yes, this does this, this does that. I don't want to do that. What I want to do, I want to have one Ender 3 sat bog standard with the little alterations that I made on the build, just sorting out the Z stepper and making sure it was perpendicular and a little bit I did with that. But apart from that, the build plate that comes with it, I mean, I am using a little bit of glue on that for certain things, but that's another story. But basically, standard firmware as it comes from Creality, standard machine as it comes from Creality. And hey, Skewed View, good to see you, fella. Just basically have that machine as bog standard, and then I'm going to purchase, I nearly did it today, but I stopped myself, purchase a second Ender 3, and that Ender 3 I will do any mod on that I find, or anybody suggests, or anybody finds. It could be something on Thingiverse for cable management, or it could be a new tool tray to go underneath, or a new housing for the display. Also, it could be a new bed leveling system. It could be a new bed surface. So whether it's a magnetic build plate or... But what I want to do is I want to have that on one machine and have a bog standard machine next to it and be able to print... Oh, that doesn't sound good. Layer shifting, nasty. Have the two machines running side by side, one with the mods, one without the mods, and printing with exactly the same PLA or ABS or whatever. Do test prints with both of them, show you my results, and then you, as people who might be considering doing these modifications, know what's going to happen. If I can get the side-by-side comparison of standard and non-standard, you know, different fan mounts, that kind of thing, buying quieter fans, and we can see if we can tell the difference in noises. I mean, that might mean I have to buy one of those decibel meter things. That could be expensive. Didn't think of that before I opened my mouth. But that kind of thing. And just going through, like I say, it doesn't have to be expensive mods. And if people suggest mods, they find something, they have an idea for something, they could send me an STL for something that, I don't know, filament guides or filament wipes or anything, and just we have the one bog standard machine, and then we have the other machine that will have all the mods done on it. Now, this has all really come about. I was speaking to one of my friends on Facebook who's also on YouTube, and one thing or another, and we were discussing the bed leveling, the bed tramming, that kind of thing, and we were discussing me getting some bits and pieces to put on mine. But then this is when I had this idea of going to the next stage and having cold sound meter. What's called a sound meter? Oh, app on the mobile. All right. Is it fairly good, Derek? Is it sort of, you know, because I don't want to have something that somebody turns around and goes, oh, that's crap, that doesn't really work. But yeah, I mean, I'd like something like that, so we can, you know, we can change the fans on it, and we can see if it does make a difference. That kind of thing. I mean, I don't know what you guys think. I don't know whether you think it's a good idea or not. I mean, it might just be, it might just be that I want to buy myself another Ender 3. All right, that's partially to do with it. Yeah, I know, but I've had a long day at work. This is restful time. So, really, basically, what I need from you guys is, once I get the second machine here, I don't need your permission to buy a new toy. If only. No, it's not your permission I need. It's them over there. Basically, when I finally get the machine here, that's when I'm going to start asking for your input. I mean, by all means, message me on Facebook, message me on YouTube. My Twitter details are on here. Hit me up with your ideas if you find anything that you think I ought to get to try. You know, go right ahead. I mean, I might even get to the stage that if people are having issues like Skew 3D seem to be having, maybe we can try and sort out those problems as well together, in a live stream scenario. So, you know, try and work through people's problems and issues with it. I just feel it is going to be such a massive selling machine. It's going to be the ANET A8 as it was when everybody started to buy them. Because I mean, I'm looking at the fact, sub 200 quid, I don't think there's anything else on the market at the moment that touches it. So I just think it's going to be hammered, absolutely hammered by people, and so many new people are going to buy it that there's going to be a need for an idiot like me testing everything out. Yeah, but you just might have to get up in the middle of the night, Skewed, just so you can interact with us, because you know what our English guys are like. That was an interesting point I wanted to say, because some of the stuff I will be getting is probably going to be coming from America, and I know that I predominantly put myself out to start with as a UK YouTuber, and I was here to talk to the UK 3D printing community. That was my main goal to start with, because there are so few of us. I mean, there's Derek, there's me, there's a few others, but there aren't many, certainly in the UK. But what's happened, what's transpired is that if I actually look at my analytics on YouTube, the highest percentage of people that watch my videos are actually American. So out of 100%, 39.7%, I think, are from the US. And the UK is second, and it's only second by a little bit, but it is second. So while I'm doing videos for UK people and for products that are available in the UK, I will also be doing products that are available in the US that probably won't be cost effective for people in the UK to buy. But if I do that with something, if for instance it's a bed leveling kit or whatever it might be that I get from America, if there is a version that's available in Europe or available in the UK, I shall also discuss, and if I can get hold of one of those, get hold of one of those as well, and not battle them against each other, not go, oh, this one's better than that one, because that's not what it's about. It's just getting the mod, putting it on the machine, getting the machine running, showing you what it does, and then it's entirely up to you to decide whether it's a decent mod or a terrible mod, or whether it's what you want or whether it's not what you want. I'm not going to tell you, you must buy this, it's brilliant. It's not about advertising for anybody. It's not about pushing one product over another. It is just getting everybody a fair crack of the whip And like I say, it's not all going to be stuff you have to buy. Some of it is going to be just STL files that come off Thingiverse that alter something, or that, you know, that just mod the machine, because I just feel there are going to be so many new mods out there and new things to try, and a lot of stuff, like I say, that will be sort of moved over from the CR10 because they are, you know, pretty much on a par build wise. I mean, as we know, the motherboard, well, the circuit board, is the original CR10 board, which in itself sort of limits what you can do with it. But again, that could be a future mod. Might rip that board out and stick something else in. I don't know what else we would stick in. I'm not really up on boards, all this ramps and Arduinos and la-di-doos and stuff. I mean, I'd upgraded the firmware on my CR10 by using USB ASP, which I've still got, so I can use that for when we change the firmware on this other one that I will promise to purchase. Now, the only other thing I want to know is at what stage do I start doing these videos? Do I start doing these videos even showing the process of going to wherever I'm going to buy it from and buy it? So, for instance, if I go to AliExpress to buy it, do I do a video actually at the point of bang, this is me buying it? So let's see how long it takes to get here, and, you know, do a sort of video about the actual process of buying it and how long it took and what the feedback was like, what sort of interaction I had with the company. Did it turn up on time? Did they tell me they had stock in Germany and then I had to wait 4 weeks because they were lying? You know, that kind of thing. Do I start at that point, or do I sort of wait till the machine's here, wait till it's built, have them side by side, both with the Benchy printed on them, saying, both using the same PLA, going, there you go, here we are, this is our start point, and then boom, that's where we go on from. And then maybe one a week, maybe more often, maybe less often, depends how busy I am, and how many mods I can sort of acquire in that time. And just, you know, this is this, this is that, somebody's asked me to print this, so I've printed this out, I'm doing this with it, and sort of move forward from there. So that's roughly what you think, is it, Derek? We'll just go from two machines side by side on my build surface. Let's go. And we'll start with something simple, like I've got some IKEA mirror tiles, we'll cut one down to size, we'll stick that on, we'll level the bed with that on, and we'll see what adhesion is like. We'll do, you know, start with a bog standard PLA, run them both at the same temperature, print on one on their build surface, print the other one on the mirror plate, see which one starts best, see, you know, the overall finish of it, and then just take it from there. But I suppose first of all I have to spend some more money. I'm kind of waiting. Oh, yep. Colin's talking about my post on Facebook. Thank you, Colin. Cheers. So really, basically, that's the plan. So as soon as I can get my arse together and get one ordered, I'm still not sure where to order from. I know, Derek, you were talking about getting one from Amazon. Well, I actually looked on Amazon this evening before I started the stream, just after my lovely tea, my Cajun chicken tea. And I can't find any on Amazon anywhere. Now, that could just be me being daft. It's entirely possible that I just don't know what I'm doing. But I couldn't find one on Amazon anywhere. I know they've got them on AliExpress at the moment. And they reckon they're in the German warehouse. But I have sent a message to the Creality store on AliExpress asking if they actually have any in stock in Germany. And I'm still waiting for a reply. So, yeah, that's $220, isn't it, skewed? So, I don't know what that works out at in English. Can somebody work that one out for me? Somebody being clever, work out what it is in English? Because I have no idea. These English pounds, you know. So yeah, I mean, I could do do Amazon. I mean, if I do Amazon, I can, if they were on, because I knew Derek had shown me it through a link to one, and they were, oh excuse me, it's this beer again. They were £170 or £180. £180. I'm sure Derek will put me right. 162.71 sterling. That's pretty good. But if we get that in the UK, we can get next day delivery using Prime. Do it that way. But you see, they're all sold out and taken off. On Amazon was 180, so that would knock it down to 160 with that 20 you had off, wasn't it? That's right. So I'm just playing with my windows. Just bear with me. I'm going to do that. See, that's a new thing that this new Streamlabs does. You can do clever things like that, and it looks a lot better. So Amazon at the moment is clearly not an option. So it's whether I go Banggood or I go anywhere else. We'll have to have a think about it, because I don't honestly know what's for the best. Sorry, I'm playing with me what's it, because my stream count isn't in the corner, which is annoying me. I'm terribly sorry. I know that's not what you want to know, but for some reason my viewer count, which should be there. Yeah, I know, Derek, it was after we'd had that conversation, you know, and I thought to myself, I'll just have a look, and then there aren't any. They'd gone, and I honestly thought, oh, is that just me being stupid? You know, have I not looked properly? Am I not looking at the right place? But I couldn't find one anywhere. So that 20 quid discount you've got, you might have to spend on something else, mate, or wait till they come back in. Mind you, it gives you more time to get your money together and hide the children or hide the wife or do something. So yeah, that's pretty much the plan. So I don't know what your views are. I know Derek thinks it's a good idea. If anybody's got any suggestions, and I mean sensible ones, skewed, because I know what you're like. Can you give me mod status? I've absolutely no idea, mate. I haven't got a clue how to do that. That's an interesting question. Just bear with me. I can put you in timeout. Oh, hang on. Just let me do that. You try that now, fella. Let's see if that'll work. Wow, I'm not sensible. Oh, there we go. My moderator has stuck a link up. I won't click on it because it'll wipe my screen out I'm looking at the moment, which will cause all sorts of issues. I don't know whether I can do... Oh, I can actually do that. Yeah, currently unavailable. There we go. One customer review gave it 5 stars. Well, that doesn't surprise... Right, so what is this Comgrow thing? Anybody know who they actually are? Are they part of Creality? Are they just working under a different name? Because I've seen this come up all of a sudden, and I was told, how true it is, but I was told by somebody that sometimes people Creality will use another name to sell their product in a different country, and I don't understand quite why, whether it's to do with import stuff or whatever, I don't know. Right, so it's not, so they obviously buy from Creality then and then put their own markup on, 20 quid or so, and then push it back out. Right, well, we'll just have to wait and see if they get any back in, but not at that price, eh, mate? But yeah, well, we'll see what it comes back on at. You never know, it might come back cheaper. But I think I'm going to have to pull the trigger tomorrow and get one ordered, because the sooner I get it here, the sooner we can start playing with it and doing interesting things with it. It's on my list, so I will get an email. Very good. Well, if it happens before tomorrow, remember to hit me up. Just, Facebook, I'm pretty much always active on it. I don't sleep a great deal. I'm generally up, and I must apologise to anybody who I send Facebook messages to and they ping up on your feed at ridiculous hours of the day and night. I'm generally up and out by 5 every morning. I'm just a morning person. So if I see something at 5:10, I think, oh, I must tell Derek about that. I will send him a Facebook message, and if he happens to have his phone at the side of his bed and his Facebook's still on and he's got his sound turned on, he will get a ping. And I must apologise to anybody that I do that to. I don't know whether Tim or anybody else are in the room as well, but I will apologise now, but I just do things when it comes up in my head. So, yeah, pretty much, your wife will kill you. Well, you're going to have to put it on silent, mate. Oh, I see. No, right, I'm with you. Yeah, your purchase. Well, you just blame me. I've told you that already. I don't mind. I've got broad shoulders and a thick head. That's what they keep telling me. So yeah, no, that's pretty much all I actually had to talk about. So that's, that's the crux of where I'm going with it. How long it's going to run for, I don't know. Probably till the money runs out, whichever is quickest. I mean, I've got some things lined up. I've got some people I've spoken to, and I've got a couple of things I won't talk about because it might not happen. If it happens, it's brilliant. If it doesn't really matter. But I've got a couple of things lined up with a couple of different people, which hopefully means I'll be able to bring you some interesting stuff, and we can see how it works, and we can see, like I say, the difference that it makes, how one bounces off the other, and whether mods are actually worth doing. I mean, there are a whole school of people out there that turn around and say all these bed leveling sensors and stuff are a waste of time, and they just stick by doing their leveling. Sorry, I must apologise for that. That's my tea. They basically just do the levelling in each collar with the wheels. That's wheels, knobs, whatever you wish to call them. And they print that way. And as long as you've got a flat and level surface and it's not a wobbly piece of aluminium and it's a nice piece of glass or whatever, they're happy with that, and they say it's unnecessary. Hey Rob, 3D printing for life in the room. Nice to see you, mate. Yeah, some people swear by just by eye. I mean, I have seen people who will just level their beds by eye, and they swear by it. But a lot of us like our gadgets. It's the whole reason why we've got 3D printers. And we like our bed leveling, bed tramming assistance and everything else. So yeah, I understand it's not for everybody, but again, if somebody has come up with a wonderful way of leveling the bed in a manual manner, well, we can do a quick episode on that as well and see how that stacks up against a bog standard machine. Skewed, it was brilliant of you to drop in. I do appreciate it, mate. Thanks very much. I keep watching your videos, fella. Crazy printing, you guys. I don't know how you find the time. Really, I don't have time to sit down and have a beer, never mind print anything on my printer. Oh, hang on. Anyway, yeah, so we'll say goodbye to Skewed as he goes back off over the pond and wherever he's doing, probably still printing. So Rob, I don't know whether you got in any idea of what we were on with there, but basically you're going to have to watch the video from the beginning when I put it up, because I'm not going to go through it all again. But basically I'm going to do a load of videos. Just need to print something now. I'm not printing anything now. My printer's staying exactly where it is. They're off today. They're having a day off. I'm not in the right frame of mind, to be honest with you, to really be printing anything. It's been a long, hard day today. But I had to get this out there. Sorry, yeah, Rob. basically I'm going to get another Ender 3, and I'm going to have a bog standard one, and I'm going to have another one next to it, and I'm going to do a load of mods on one of them, and we're going to do test prints on both machines, both the standard and the one with the mods on, and see if the mods make any difference and how it performs. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a performance mod. It can be changing where the screen is. It could be changing the casing for the power supply. I saw something today about somebody whose power supply housing he doesn't think was printed in ABS because it started to melt. I don't know whether anybody else of you have seen that. That was a Facebook post that pinned up today. The actual the 3D printed housing that the power supply sits in has actually started to warp and bend out at the bottom. So clearly that's not printed in particularly good quality ABS. Whether they've done it in PLA or what, you know, who knows. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I've got some more filament coming, Derek. I can't tell you what it is because I haven't got it in front of me. But I've got some more filament coming. Just bear with me, let me just pull it up. Just something else I wanted to try. I've also got, this could be, might have to do some video with my daughter, because I've actually got coming one of those 3D pens, those 3D drawing pens. I've got one of those coming. I mean, I wondered, I could be completely wrong, but I wondered if it could be used in conjunction. If you print something and it doesn't quite go right, or that it needs a bit of infill or something like that, I just wondered if with a 3D pen you could, you know, fill in the gaps, or, you know, if you've done something and it's cracked or it's split, could we use one of those 3D pens and a bit of filament just to fill the gap in? But it's something that's coming. I might do a little video on it. I might get my daughter to do some, oh God, she's into manga and all sorts at the moment, so it'll all be dying Japanese people or Chinese people. I don't know what manga is. I have no idea. I know she was into these books called Death Note or something, and it's all very weird, but I might give it to her to play with. But I've got some flexible TPU coming, is what I've ordered, just to give that a try, just have a play with that and see how that works out. I get the gist of what you're up to. My friend has an Ender 3, so I must order one over the weekend. I tell you, I must be sick. People are sick of hearing me say this, Rob, but for the money, they are a fantastic machine. They really are. I know some people are starting to have little issues with them, but you know, it's a Creality machine. There aren't going to be little issues, but they're a good machine, and I think for the money, well, you've just proved there. Your friend has an Ender 3, so you're going to go and order one. So you know, they're affordable. They're not a massive expense to have one, which is the whole reason why I got one. I got mine for 110 quid. And it was just a no-brainer. It was, at that money, you know, if I lived somewhere where there was a pub, that would be a night out, I would imagine. A few beers with your mates, kebab on the way home, you know. You could easily spend that. Well, I could. I do tend to, you know, have one or two libations if I do go out. So yeah, that's pretty much where I am, what I'm doing. I'm now prattling about. You'll have to excuse me. So yeah, it's going to be new. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be maybe a bit expensive, but we'll have to wait and see. Like I say, hopefully not all of it is going to be about the expensive mods, the, you know, 30, 40, 50 quid stuff. Some of it is going to be about the stuff that people print on Thingiverse, you know, the fang mounts, that funny square one that they've started doing now that everybody's raving about. I personally I try as much as possible, unless something makes a massive difference, and I can clearly see it makes a massive difference, I try and sort of steer away from all these alterations and stuff. But to have another machine so I can actually do that, like I say, it might teach us all something, and better to do it with 2 Ender 3s than to do it with 2 Prusias, because 2 Ender 3s I can afford, 2 Prusias not so much. We might be using that to print the parts, but you know, I'm not going to buy another Prusia just to test mods on. That would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? So yeah, that's about it really, guys. I know I've not been on particularly long. In fact, I've no idea how long I've been on, to be honest with you. I've been so busy, full of my own self-importance, that I don't even know how long I've been shooting. 38 minutes, there we go. No time at all. So yeah, that's just about it. It was just a little stream just to tell you what the plan was. I shall put the wheels in motion either tonight or tomorrow, when I make a decision where I'm buying from. I don't know whether anybody out there has a link or an idea of where they're cheap at the moment and where they're available at the moment. But yeah, I'll get one ordered, we'll get it made, we'll get it stuck on my desk over there. Ooh, look at you. Wow. Bloody hell, Derek. The circles you must move in. Wow, that's just cool. You are such a lucky bloke. You really are. Do you get to keep it if you're nice about it, or do you do you have to give it back? That's the big question. Because I know sometimes they say, oh yes, you can borrow it, but I mean, you get review copies of stuff and they've been around 3 or 4 people before you get hold of it, and half of the stuff's broken on it before you start, which isn't a good place to be in. Not that I'm any expert at it. Oh, there it is. I hope the picture quality is alright this evening. I am just using my Logitech this evening. Oh, that's cool. That's really good, Derek. I appreciate that. You'll have to drop my name into them and all. No, I hope you don't mind me being only on my Logitech this evening, because I couldn't find my other camera, my Sony. I'd looked all over for it and thought I must have left it up in the lodge, and I just looked right in front of me there. The camera is here, and I looked right down below it where the stand is, and what was sat there? But my little Sony. That's the one. Just in case anybody is interested, that's the one I use generally for my videos. That's my main camera, which I actually picked up from CEX second hand for, I think it was just short of 100 quid. And it's a fantastic little camera. I'll give you there we go. That's what it is. It's a really good little camera because you've got the screen that flips up like that, which comes in really useful. But when I'm actually using it for filming and I have it on the tripod, there is an issue, and I'll show you what the issue is. Underneath there, that's your mount that screws into your hot shoe for your tripod or whatever, and that there is the HDMI out. So the minute you screw it onto there, you can't get to the HDMI, which is a bit of an issue when you're trying to use it for streaming. So what I've done is, I thought with my head for once, and I bought one of these little, sorry, this stand's going to fall over. I bought one of those, which is those little cheap things for holding your phone. And what I actually do with this is I have the camera in upside down like that, and then I have it inverted on the screen so it's the right way up, but that way I can actually get to the HDMI port to stream it. So it sits on the tripod that way up like that, so I can't actually see the screen on it because of the way the clip is, but I've got the monitor on the screen, so that isn't an issue. But yeah, that's just what I use. It's a fantastic little camera. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that my Pixel 2's got a fantastic camera on it, this would be a great thing just to, if you were doing a bit to camera, if you're doing a blog post or something and you're out and about. Really good quality, 30 times optical zoom on it as well, so you can pull in some really good tight shots on stuff. It focuses really well. It's a cracking camera, and it wasn't expensive. Like I said, it was less than 100 quid from CX, or Sex as they decided to start calling themselves now, which quite frankly annoys the crap out of me. But yeah, that's what I use. But tonight, couldn't find it, so I just stuck my Logitech on, and then lo and behold, there it was below it. But anyway, I'm waffling now, so everybody knows where I am and what I'm doing. There'll be updates. I will update on my Twitter when I actually order it. I will probably stick something on my Facebook, probably one of the Ender 3 Facebook groups. I do try and sort of keep up with those and find out what's going on. But yeah, that's about it for this evening. I'm sick to death of blinding myself with these lights I've got on. I've got these. This is going to absolutely kill the camera now. Those. It's a strip light which came from Lidl, and it's supposed to go in your kitchen or something, but that just throws a bit of extra light. And I was always told that you have to light from underneath the chin because it takes the bags away from under your eyes. I don't know quite how that works. But anyway, I digress. Thanks very much everybody for coming. Derek, I'll keep you informed with how things go with everything else. I want to see pictures of this Delta when it turns up. Quite how you've managed to swing that one. But well done, mate. I appreciate the hard work you must have put in to get that. I'm guessing that's those guys in your town. I'm guessing. But yeah, no, that's it for tonight. Just a quick, less than an hour. You can all go off and have your teas now and watch your rubbish TV programmes. Thanks very much for joining. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. I know there's 4 of you out there watching at the moment. Ooh, and I know only one of you is talking. Well done, Derek. Always talking. But yeah, thanks very much. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget my Patreon. Dear Derek, my only Patreon, bless him. And I will see you with an update as soon as there's an update to give. So thanks very much for watching. This video will be up on YouTube. It may be a couple of little bits of editing, like the first 5 minutes when I didn't say anything because I hadn't turned the mic on. Thanks a lot. Cheers, Rob. Thanks for tuning in, mate. I do appreciate it. It makes a lot of difference when you actually look in that top corner and you haven't just got one sad lonely viewer, which is actually me monitoring myself, because for the first 3 or 4 times I did this I thought, oh, I've got one person watching, and then I realised it was me watching myself, and you should never do that. Anyway, take care guys, enjoy the rest of your evenings, and we'll speak soon. And I'm now going to look at you and go down there.